This is Victoria Lee with Making It Happen. We've got a special guest for you today, coming from the younger generation, so you all stay tuned. Be right back with Matt Papa.
This week on my channel, Chapter 2, My Retired Life, we made a Thai red curry rice noodle bowl with healthy vegetables, rice noodles, and a yummy curry sauce. I hope you tune in and check it out.
Welcome back. I'm really excited to introduce you to our guest today, Matt Papa, originally from Georgia, now from South Carolina, I believe it is. So let me welcome Matt Papa.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh, I'm supposed to high five.
We got to pound it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yep.
five.
And then you blow it up.
Okay. Blow it up?
Yeah, you hit it and then blow it up.
Oh.
So that's it. Yep.
One of these days.
We got it.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks for
having me.
you
are originally from Georgia.
Yes, ma'am. We live in North Carolina now, but yeah, I lived in Georgia most of my life.
Now, is North Carolina because you're getting ready to go into the seminary? Is that what
Yeah, I started last Thursday. Started the fall semester, so.
Really?
Yep.
And that is to be?
To be a student of the Word.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, exactly if I'll be doing this forever in terms of singing and traveling and that kind of thing, or if I'll be ministering in a church, or if me and my wife talk a lot about missions. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll probably be doing one of those three things, but I know that a deeper knowledge of the Word is going to be important in any of those.
So you sound a little bit like a guest we had a few weeks ago, Tommy Brandt,
Okay.
who is a fantastic singer-songwriter, but he considers himself a preacher that happens to sing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you're saying to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, a preacher with a guitar. That's kind of who I am, and most of our concerts, really every concert, everything we do is kind of preaching and teaching all intermingled with songs, because and all the songs that I write, I try to make sure that they're full of Scripture, because it's just my ideas and opinions and political views or whatever, those things are valid, I guess, but in terms of eternity, they're not going to matter.
Right.
The only thing that's going to stand is the Word of God.
I can tell with your songs, I mean, you're really a worshiper, that just kind of takes you into the presence of God, which we all need to practice ourselves. But how did you get to this point? I mean, were you raised in a Christian home?
No, I wasn't. My dad wasn't a Christian. My mom became a Christian when I was a teenager, but didn't grow up in a Christian home. We went to church regularly, but I think it was just because my mom took us to church, but just kind of an American thing that people usually do.
Dress up on Sundays,
yeah,
let everybody know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shake hands, kiss babies, all that. So, but yeah, so I'd heard the Word growing up and that kind of thing, and made a decision when I was 7, kind of did the whole prayer thing, but didn't mean anything. I was just scared out of my mind that I might go to hell. So, didn't really understand what it meant to follow Jesus. But when my mom did become a Christian, she was really supported us getting plugged into our youth group, and did that when I was 12. I really feel like I made a true decision to follow Jesus. And
and you're not very old right now, are you?
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah.
You're still a baby.
A wee lad, yes, I am. But my parents actually, they got divorced when I was 14, as so many people can relate to now.
Sure.
In this culture. It's a shame, it's a tragedy, but God has used that in my life. Well, He used it then at that moment in my life to call me to ministry.
Really?
C.S. Lewis said, "Pain is God's megaphone," and that has been certainly true in my life.
Now, explain that.
Oh, pain is God's megaphone? Wow, that's a deep one to explain in a few minutes here, but I guess it's just that I think it's a lot of the reason that the big question of why does God allow evil in the world? If He's good, then why does He allow those things? I think that statement is the reason for that. Pain is His megaphone. It's the time and place where you're so broken, you don't know where else to turn, and so you have to turn to God. And I think He does that. I think He allows those things to happen in our lives so that we'll get over ourselves and what we want to do and all that kind of stuff, and actually pay attention to Him. It's sad that we don't until those things happen. But
see, you're very unique in that, because a lot of people, I mean, I wrote a book about A Way Out, and it's about the cycle of abuse. So many people that end up going through divorced situations, and it wounds them. So how did you get from the divorce of your parents to it being a healing time for you rather than it devastating you and changing your life in a different way?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's had its tremendous effects on me. Just, Dad not being there much, and just, when he was, not very, just kind of verbal abuse and just that kind of stuff. And it's had its scars and wounds and things like that. But I think, by God's grace, there's one song on a record and sing it a lot at the camps and things we do, and it's kind of a story about that. But God has used that so I can tell my story now, and it ministers to so many people, and it's really it's a blessing now looking back. But at the time, that happened, and just really sensed. I remember it like it was yesterday. Mom told me the news. Went upstairs, picked up my guitar. There's an old worship song. It's called All in All. You are my strength when I'm weak.
Yes.
You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious jewel, Lord, to give up a beautiful. You are my all in all. And that moment, it was just like, God really got my attention, and I really just sensed and felt like God was saying, Matt, I want you to use your gifts, your talents, everything, your life for my kingdom. And so I feel like that was when God called me to do what I do today. And
now, I know you want, like we talked earlier, you want to really get the word out there to people.
Yeah.
And that's what your real heart is. But is it in a certain area, are you wanting to emphasize?
Yeah, I would say over the last couple of years, a big emphasis, a big burden of mine has become missions. And I got married about a year and a half ago, and my wife was really had a huge heart for missions. The band and I had taken a lot of mission trips. We've been to India, we've been to England and Wales, and played there and those kind of things. So it's always been a passion, but the last 2 years it's really become a burden. And God just changed my heart so much. I've been traveling for a long time now, since I was 16. I started traveling in bands and playing and that kind of thing, and so I've done this for a while. But God really got my attention, and I just found myself asking the question, God, are you using me for your kingdom, or am I using you for mine?
Wow.
I just it's so easy, I think, for us to use God for our own agenda, in the Christian ministry world and in that kind of thing. And that's I really felt just broken by that, and God just brought this thing into my life, this thing called the nations. And I always thought I was willing, but it just really got my attention, and He started giving me a burden for that. Another guy said it this way, Andy Stanley. He said, "A vision from God always begins as a concern." And I think that's so important and true. It's like, how do we determine what God has called us to do and be about? It's not necessarily always through what we're just passionate about, I think, or what we're good at or that kind of thing. I think it's where we have a deep burden. It's what makes us cry, And
that's true.
That's where we need to run to. And so missions has become that thing for me, and so what we're doing is we're taking a lot of more mission trips now than we used to. But what we're doing is we're using our ministry here in the States as a platform to make students aware of the fact, and people aware, whoever we're ministering to, that there's over 1.6 billion people who've never heard the name of Jesus. And God is He's just arrested my heart with that fact. And my seminary president, I'm sorry, I'm just blabbing on and on.
No, you're fine.
But I'm just excited about it. My seminary president, he said this the other day. We're just starting classes, and he said this quote, and it's just, I've been wrestling with it the last week or so. He said, "No one deserves to hear the gospel twice, while there are still people living who have never heard it once."
Right.
And that's just, it's kind of a controversial statement, but I just think there's so much truth to that there are so many people and that, so many, much of which many people aren't even aware of that.
Right.
That's
well, and
reality.
so many here in America, we have such a great opportunity, and we
Absolutely.
don't take it.
Absolutely.
But let's go back on that point you said earlier about, am I using this for you, God? Or
Yeah.
Say that again.
Okay, it was God, are you using me for your kingdom, or am I using you for mine?
Okay.
That was the
We run into people constantly that don't have that right. So how do you get to that point to knowing who's it for, you or the Lord?
Yeah, I think, man, I think it, ultimately it comes down to our motives. There's a lot.
Okay.
I don't think you can necessarily judge it by what you're doing, whether it's, work. I think every Christian is called to minister. Whether you're on TV, whether you're working a 9 to 5, whether you're a missionary, you're called to minister the gospel, and it comes down to your heart and your motives.
That's right, your heart and your motives.
But
well, we're going to have to break real quick here and take a commercial break. I want you to make your way
yep, load up. You ready?
over to the stage,
Okay.
and we're going to hear some of that worship
Awesome.
music.
All right.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
To the faithless you are faithful, and to the broken you are able, and to the captives you are liberty. And to the orphan you are father, and to the widow you are a lover, and to the blind you give them eyes to see. And God of grace, you took our place, you love us as we are. And although we can broken sing, we love you, God of grace. And to the homeless you are shelter, to the thirsty living water, to the lame you give them feet to dance. And to the helpless you're a brother, and to the hungry you are bread, and to all sinners you are second chance. Yeah, and God of grace, you took our place, you love us as we are. And although we can broken sing, we love you, God of grace, merciful in all your ways. How could we cease to sing your praise? You became sin for us. And oh, how great is your love. And God of grace, you took our place. You love us as we are. And although we can broken sing, we love you, God grace, God of grace, you took our place. You love us as we are. Oh, and now redeemed, your children sing, we love you, God of grace. And bells will ring, your bride will sing, we love you, God of grace.
I will worship you by giving to the poor, by bringing hope to hopeless places, and I will love you by feeding those in need, by touching their disease and their souls with your love. 'Cause you said what you do to the least of these, you do it unto me. You know what you do to the least of these, you do it unto me. So I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, my soul, my mind, and my strength. And so I'll love the ones you love. And now I'm taking up my cross for you, obeying your commands. I want my worship to be true, 'cause when I'm loving them, I'm loving you. I will honor you by honoring the last, by giving worth to things deemed worthless, and I will serve you by sheltering the strange, and by clothing them with grace that cannot give in return. 'Cause you said what you do to the least of these, you do it unto me. You know what you do to the least of these, you do it unto me. So I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, my soul, my mind, and my strength. And so I'll love the ones you love. Taking up my cross for you, obeying your commands. I want my worship to be true, 'cause when I'm loving them, I'm loving you. How can I say I love you when I do not love the things that you love? When my heart is hard, but yours is broken for this broken world. So Jesus, I will be your hands and feet. Don't just wanna sing anymore. So I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, my soul, my mind, and my strength. And so I'll love the ones you love. And now I'm taking up my cross for you, obeying your commands. I want my worship to be true, 'cause when I'm loving them, yeah, and I will care for you when I'm caring for the weak, when I'm going and I'm speaking of your love and faithfulness, and I will follow you by going where you've been, by declaring to all men that you're the truth, the life, the way. And on Judgment Day, what will he say of the deeds that you have done? Yeah.
Hi, Victoria Lee here. Would you like me to play you a song on this guitar? Well, I'd love to, but I don't know how to play the guitar. So, Making It Happen TV started in 2009. We had people coming from all over different states to be on the show. You know, the purpose of Making It Happen TV is to inspire and encourage others to pursue their gifts and talents. You know, some people have talents that we've never even seen before, and then we've never even heard. There are people out there that don't have the platform, they don't have the notoriety that some other people have had. But now I've been interviewing people since 1994 when I wrote my first book, Unforgettable Grady. And I've met some incredible people, Congress people, governors, generals, actors, comedians, authors, you name it. And I've learned so much from each one of them. And it's finding out how they got started. You know, how did they get from A to Z? How did they come successful? Why did they do it to start with? Where did that talent and that gift come from? And you know, we want to encourage and inspire our viewers that if they're sitting on the couch somewhere or in a dead-end job, so to speak, for them, that they've got this burning desire inside of them to do something different that they've wanted to their whole life, that once you hear some of these inspiring stories, that you'll get up and begin to go after that talent, to pursue that talent. And you know, it's really not as hard as you think, because if God's placed something inside of you, then He's given you all that you need in order to complete that. You have to go out and pursue it. He's not going to just drop it in your lap, but it's already inside you, ready to come out to the world. And some people are well-known names, and some of them you may not know, but you'll want to know them after you hear their interview and see them perform on stage. So please stay tuned. You never know, maybe one of these days I'll learn how to play this guitar. But until then, I'll interview some of the people that have. So thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm learning how to live with open hands.
wow. Such passion, Matt. Thank you so
Thanks for having me
much.
on the show.
Tell us real quick about your CD.
Okay, it just came out yesterday, August 25th. So
Okay.
I'm really excited. It's in stores.
So now you're touring all over now.
Yeah, we're playing a lot this fall and going to seminary at the same time. So
Busy schedule.
Yeah, but I just take classes during the week, but travel on the weekends. But it'll be great. It's a CD. It's got a lot of worship songs on it. A lot of songs that are kind of for the church and songs to the church. So.
So we've just heard a sampling today.
Yeah, yeah.
So you all need to get this CD. If you want a worshiper, Matt said, thank you so much for taking us into his presence today. We appreciate it. And you all come back next week. We've got another terrific show for you on Making It Happen. See you next time.